Bridgerton Season 4 will break romance trends with Benedict and Sophie. Season 4 of Bridgerton will deviate from the established romance formula by exploring a love story between characters from different social classes, Benedict Bridgerton and Sophie Beck. This marks a shift from previous seasons, where all main romances stayed within high society. Based on Julia Quinn's An Offer from a Gentleman, Sophie begins as a servant and illegitimate child, creating challenges for the couple. In the novel, Sophie's status is elevated by Violet Bridgerton to make their marriage socially acceptable, but the adaptation may approach this differently. This storyline is significant, as it offers a rare focus on characters outside of high society, diverging from the show's typical Regency-era setting. The season must also refine Benedict's character, as it did with Anthony in Season 2, for a more compelling adaptation of the source material. Bridgerton Season 4 breaks a romance trend with Benedict and Sophie and is hugely important for Netflix's Regency series. Spoilers ahead for An Offer from a Gentleman. Bridgerton Season 4 will break a romance trend that will mark an important moment in Benedict's story. Since the Netflix sensation first graced audiences' screens, Bridgerton has showcased its version of the Regency era by highlighting the love story of one of the 8 Bridgerton siblings each season. Bridgerton Season 1 showed the love story of Daphne and Simon Bassett, Season 2 focused on Anthony Bridgerton and Kate Sharma, and Bridgerton Season 3 recently showed the love story between Colin Bridgerton and Penelope Featherington. Soon after the release of Bridgerton Season 3, it was announced that Benedict Bridgerton would be the romantic lead in Season 4, along with newcomer Yaren as Sophie Beck. The season will likely follow the events of the book An Offer from a Gentleman by Julia Quinn, similar to how the first 3 seasons followed the plot of their respective books. While some things will be changed as the book is being adapted, it'll be interesting to see how Bridgerton Season 4 handles one aspect of Sophie's story. Sophie's social status creates a storyline Bridgerton has mostly avoided so far. This will be the first time it's explored in depth. Throughout all of Bridgerton's 3 seasons, all of the siblings have fallen in love with someone within high society and generally from the same social class. Bridgerton Season 4 will be the first time where the main love story will focus on people from 2 different social classes. There have been relationships between people in different social classes before, but it will be a major factor in Benedict and Sophie's love story. In Bridgerton Season 1, Anthony was in love with Sienna, an opera singer who was not from an upper-class background despite performing for and interacting with them often. This caused a rift between the two and ultimately led to Sienna breaking things off with Anthony even though he planned to propose. Something similar happened in Bridgerton Season 2 with Eloise and Theo, though their relationship never got far enough for this to be a real problem. Benedict and Sophie are only able to get married after she is elevated in status. This also had to happen in the book. In Benedict's book, An Offer from a Gentleman, Violet Bridgerton gets Sophie's stepmother to claim she is a distant relative, which elevates her status from servant and illegitimate child to someone of high society. Because of the social stigma, Benedict and Sophie would have been looked down upon if they married, but Sophie's elevated status allows them to wed with no issues. In the book, before Sophie gets elevated in status, the best Benedict can do for her is offer to make her his mistress, an element of the book many don't believe should be included in Bridgerton Season 4. So far, very little has been seen of people who are not of high society on the show. This is likely something the couple will have to also face in the series. It's confirmed that audiences will get to know Sophie, her stepmother, and her stepsister, but it's unclear how Bridgerton will tackle the social status aspect of the couple's story. So far, very little has been seen of people who are not of high society on the show, and with Sophie essentially being a servant to her stepmother and stepsister, it'll be a different look to Bridgerton if the show stays true to the book. Bridgerton Season 4 needs to make some similar changes to Benedict as it did with Anthony. A faithful adaptation of the book may not be what's best.